And so we get started with a message from President Bola Tinubu yesterday, reassuring everyone, especially Christians, that Nigeria is a country that welcomes and accommodates all faith. Whether you're a Christian or a Muslim, this country is for you. According to Section 10 of the Constitution, it's a secular state. And he gave that reassurance in his Christmas Day message yesterday, as released by him. He signed it himself as far as that message is concerned. And he talked about the fact that, look, there is Christian or religious liberty. That's the word I was looking for, religious liberty across the country. He said, go out there, celebrate, do not fear, do not worry, that he is poised to ensure that whatever is provided for in the Constitution, as far as liberty and freedom and expression of worship is concerned, or liberty to express yourself in any faith at all, you have that liberty in our country. I keep using that word liberty deliberately, just to re-echo the fact that Nigeria is a secular state. Guys.
An apt message for the season, but many of the times such messages are lost on non-state actors, as there was yet another attack in Borno State yesterday. It happened when some Muslims were observing their Maghrib prayers, and according to reports, about 5 deaths were recorded in that attack as a suicide bomber detonated a bomb while Muslims were praying. That is totally condemnable. But of course, it also places a question mark on the security emergency that has been put in place by government to tackle all of the security concerns that have heightened, especially in the last couple of months following the designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern. We understand that security agents are trying to restore some form of normalcy to the situation. While that has been confirmed, there is another report emerging from Guma local government in Benue State, in Orteze community to be precise, where another attack occurred and about 5 persons are said to have been killed in that attack. That is totally condemnable, especially as this comes about a fortnight or less after there were reports about intelligence that there may be Christmas Day attacks in Nigeria's north central, and this has come just hours to the Christmas celebration. Our hearts go out to all these communities in the northeast Borno State and in the north central Benue State, where families have lost loved ones just hours ahead of the Christmas celebration. We are with them in this one, even as we observe Christmas.
So those are images of the aftermath of that blast, we understand, from an IED. Naturally, investigations are on. So our hearts yet again go out to the families of those who've been killed and those injured. We understand that dozens of people are injured, about 35 plus people injured. So we will be following up with this event in Borno State to get you all of the updates from the government, the security operatives. As we know right now, no group has claimed responsibility, but we know that previous bombings in Maiduguri and other parts of Borno State have been linked to Boko Haram and the splinter faction, which is ISWAP. So that's the latest from the incident in Borno State. It's about 12 hours to Christmas. In fact, less than 12 hours to Christmas, because it happened about 6 p.m.
It's very heartbreaking to see these dastardly elements go after our people yet again. This is a mosque. People go to observe their prayers and their religious rites, and then you go out there to bomb them. We've not seen this dimension in a long while. We have had kidnappings and killings and all of that. Now they have scaled it up yet again to another dimension of bombing, because when I saw the story, I think it was yesterday, I had to look through and I saw bomb. I said, what in the world exactly is going on? We cannot continue to tolerate these elements of destruction, these enemies of state, going after a mosque to destroy the lives of people on Christmas Eve. And it looks like this is really deliberate to send a clear message. It looks like in part of our country, what now happens is, rather than the usual anticipation of Christmas Eve, where people, celebrate into the Christmas Day, people are now literally anxious, worried afraid for their lives. And this is what has just happened in Borno State. This is not acceptable. This is totally condemnable, and the government must rise to the occasion. We still have very sketchy details as to how this happened, how this person was able to successfully get through whatever form of security or checks that is available within this area to carry a bomb or an IED in this sense into a place of worship, a mosque, to carry out this very evil act, killing our people. This is condemnable. It is not acceptable. And whoever has done this has to also pay the supreme price according to our laws. As Kayode said, we do not know which group is responsible because no group has claimed responsibility. But what we know is that there are casualties, both deaths and injured, and destruction of property. Our thoughts at this moment is with the families of those that have been affected. I thought they will come into Christmas Day, complete. But now again, this has happened. It's very heartbreaking. This should not be happening. This is not how to celebrate the peak of the Yuletide.
And just quickly, we have more information on this incident in Borno State. That's from the headquarters of Operation Hadinkai, says that the explosion suspected to have been carried out by a suicide bomber who detonated the IED, killing himself and 2 civilians on the scene. As to who is responsible, the statement from Lieutenant Colonel Sonny Uba, who's a spokesman of the Theater Command, says that preliminary findings indicated the incident was caused by a suspected Boko Haram terrorist suicide bomber. We understand that the troops, in conjunction with the Nigeria Police Explosive Ordnance Disposal Team and other security agencies, as well as Borno State government and NEMA, responded, secured and cordoned off the affected area. So in terms of injured, the figures we have is 32 civilians sustained varying degrees of injuries. And regrettably, 2 of the injured civilians were later confirmed dead at the hospital, while 2 others are currently in critical condition.
And that may have increased the death toll that was earlier recorded, numbering about 5. Well, we'll wait an official figure from the headquarters of Operation Hadinkai that has brought us this update. But it is, again, we cannot say it enough that this is totally condemnable. This is an unprovoked attack. Worshippers were going about their business in their mosque, observing their prayers to their God, and some elements, would come and upset that for whatever reason it is. It's totally unjustifiable, and we must reiterate at this point that we watch dedicatedly the implementation of the new policy, designating all kidnappers and terrorists as what they are. Terrorists, either they're kidnapping en masse or they're killing people, innocent people, unprovoked. They must be dedicated as terrorists, and we must see the justice system work effectively, accelerating trial through the Administration of Criminal Justice Act and ensuring the prosecution and conviction of these criminal elements in our society. We do look forward to a day when they will be totally eliminated, where recruitment into Boko Haram will no longer be fashionable, and that is the hope at this particular point in time. But Christmas remains Christmas, and we have quite a lot lined up this morning. In the next 2 hours, we'll try as much as possible to ensure that it's a festival of joy, which is what really Christmas is all about. So guys, what do we have lined up for today?
We just have to do the best we can to have a great Christmas. It's quite difficult to see those pictures and see the human lives were lost. So it's not really easy to process. This is why we are always calling on the government to do the best they can to protect citizens. That's a social contract. We'll obey the law, so it protects our lives. But as Bukola said, there's a big package we have for you on the program today, from music to comedy to all kinds of performances. So we're going to be low on all of the issues that we always discuss. So maybe a one-day break from the crisis of Nigeria, which is quite difficult to walk away from because, you know, it's almost in your face, literally. If you drive out of this office, go to somewhere else, just drive out of your place, wherever you are, there's one issue or the other that is calling your attention for you to maybe begin some form of a lamentation or just frustrates you. But we look for a day like this and just celebrate the best we can to ensure that all of us have a fantastic morning right here on the Morning Brief, guys.
Oh, yes. That is what we have planned for you. And just to reiterate that the Christian Association of Nigeria also released a statement in the spirit of Christmas. But what is quite striking is the third and fourth paragraph that said, yes, churches will gather and rejoice during this festive season, but Christian leaders and the congregation must do so with wisdom, vigilance, and a deep sense of responsibility. And it says that in places where adequate security presence is lacking, church leaders should prayerfully consider holding services in safer locations or smaller groups. That statement was signed by Archbishop Daniel Oko, the president of the Christian Association of Nigeria. So that is it as far as news is concerned. We'll take a moment now, and when we return, we'll bring you more in our Christmas special. Stay with us.